Hello, everybody! Boy, I haven't made a video for a long time, and I've been playing, obviously, here a lot of Lord of the Rings online. So I played this game years and years and years ago when it first came out, and then I quit for a little bit, came back. I don't know the whole time frame. I mean, I think this game has been out like 9 years now or something crazy like that. And it feels like once every like 2 or 3 years, I'll come back and play a little while and then, kind of quit again. So as of right now, the game is free to play. Um, you can do actually quite a bit as a free to play player. Unfortunately, though, that only will last probably so long. And then you'll kind of run out of content, and what I mean by that is like if you've got just a basic account, you can only do like the first few areas, and then you kind of run out of regions to quest in. I don't remember exactly which ones are good for free to play or like how far you can actually go. I don't remember, but at a certain point, I just actually have I'm actually running two accounts here, if you notice. So I've got an 85 champion here on one of the accounts, and what is this? A 50? Is that 57? No, I can't even see. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble seeing what my other character is. I think that's a 57. Beorning. And so that's actually the reason why I came back. I came back to test out the Beorning, see what it was all about. And it's a pretty fun class so far. There's some things that I don't like about it. I actually have two champions that are level 85. Don't ask. That's a whole another discussion. But I do like the champion for most things. Frankly, I feel like the champion's just still so good with AoE, and I'm super rusty though too. So keep that stuff in mind. I don't want to make it seem like I know too much about champion these days, or really any other class, because again, it's been quite some time since I like legitimately played the game. So so keep that in mind. I'm kind of surprised how this turned out. So what I'm doing, I'm actually alt tabbing between my two accounts, and so I'll alt tab to the Beorning to heal, and then I alt tab back to the champion. And I actually fully suspected that when I alt tabbed, you would be able to see the other account or like see me playing the other account, but that's not the case. I guess it only records, on this I guess this account here. So kind of interesting, kind of lame actually. I was really hoping that you'd get to see, you'd actually get to see me alt tabbing, but I guess that's just the way. So I'm using Fraps for recording this, and I guess that's just how Fraps works. I've never actually recorded with two different accounts like this, so I guess now I know. Now I have that answer. But so that's what I'll be doing. I guess I would say I'm a bit out of practice as far as like playing multiple accounts. I did, I guess I'd say, most of my two boxing in, and so actually let me back up. I wanna be completely transparent here in what I'm doing. So I'm running two accounts on the same computer. I am not using any sort of third-party programs. I guess unless you consider Fraps third-party, and that's just to record my footage. So there's no like macro programs that I'm running, nothing like that. I am, in full control of both accounts, and I felt like I actually had to bring that up because I think there's I guess a little bit of confusion on terms. And so when I say multi-boxing, I mean just playing more than one account. And I was actually talking to one of my friends about that, and he was actually under the assumption that I meant also that I was using some sort of third-party program like running macros or something like that. And I was like, no, that's not what I mean. So again, I guess I'm just defining my terms here, and just know that. That's probably one of the reasons why this looks, or you'll see here eventually. I think, I don't remember if the champion ever dies, but I know at some point here, actually, probably I think the champion does die once or twice. I think I think my Beorning dies once or twice as well. So, so yeah. So again, this is all me. No help from any other program. So, anyways, do I find that that's a great way to play? To be honest, no. Number one, I mean, this is an MMO, and I feel like these days, and I felt like actually, to be honest, now that I've kind of thought about it a bit, yeah, I think somebody's going to die here. I'm pretty sure the Beorning dies. But anyway, so one of the things I noticed, and this was a couple months ago, probably 6-7 months ago, something like that. I actually had started playing EverQuest again, the old school EverQuest, original. They did so I forget the name of the company that owns EverQuest these days. Gosh, that's actually gonna bother me now. Anyways, it used to be Sony way back in the day. Sony was the ones I think that let me back up too. So Sony was I think the publisher, and there was probably one other company that did some of the other aspects of it. Again, I'm super hazy, and I apologize for that. This isn't supposed to be some a history lesson, but anyways, there is a company that runs EverQuest now, and anyways, so what they did was they came out with these kind of like retro servers. I don't remember the actual term. They had a term for them, but swipe. But anyway, so what they did was they came out, and originally or right away they came out with servers, and they only had the original. It was like the original EverQuest. Now there was some things that were changed in it and whatnot, but to be honest, it was kind of fun for a little while. But then they I think they took like a server wide vote and opened up some of the other servers and so on and so forth, and that was expected to continue. Now. What's my point? Okay, so when I originally played EQ, I started out with one account, and I learned that it was actually really tough because I actually I played a cleric, and it was extremely difficult to do anything solo as a cleric in that game. And I found that some days I just didn't want to put the effort into finding a group, and sometimes you get into groups that just weren't all that great. And so on and so forth. So actually what I did was I actually ended up making a new account. I liked the game so much that I had bought another account, and I started, kind of playing both at the same time. I think I made a warrior, and I felt like those two classes were okay together. There was certainly better, but anyways, that was kind of the start of it. And I, unfortunately though, I guess the same thing applies here, is that yeah, it's cool to be able to do things by yourself every once in a while, but these are MMOs, and they're really meant to be played with. You're supposed to be playing with other people. So, to be honest, I actually enjoy the grouping in this game. I feel like this is one of the better games and actually better communities. In some of the games that I've played have not had the best communities, and so that can definitely detract from the game itself, and so yeah. So to be honest, now I'm not real wild about this dual boxing in this game, and it's not going. Luckily, it's not going to last forever. I believe the level cap right now is like 105, and so if you notice there, so I actually did. I was at 85 with my champion there when I had quit the last time, and I don't remember why. I assume I just ran out of stuff to do. That's my guess, or friends got me into something else. That's usually how that goes down. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna die here. Pretty sure this is it. Anyways, so yeah, so you may see me get tore up here, but yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of why I'm able to do this though right now. So this is actually a 6-man instance, and actually I thought it was fun back in the day. This one was one of my one of the instances that I actually really like to do for whatever reason. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the Beorning is going to die here. Yep, that didn't take long. So so yeah. So that being said, I'd say as with usual, I'd say I won't be doing this this solo business for much longer. It really actually is not that much fun. I guess it's kind of fun in that. Just seeing what I can do by myself. Now here you're going to see me just standing around, I guess. Yeah, because I had to run the Beorning back. So yeah, I'm actually super disappointed that it wasn't, Fraps wasn't on the other account then when I tabbed over. So, oh well, that's life, I guess. That's all right. We're not gonna miss, I guess, too much. But yeah. So anyways, um, that again, the whole two boxing thing isn't going to last forever. It's kind of fun for certain points, and it kind of works well for right now. Again, though, that's not going to last forever. So we'll pick back up with the fun stuff. So, all right. So, anyways, what I'm actually kind of just doing the. Okay, so this isn't the challenge now. This is where are we at? I should have brought this up way earlier, but this is the Grand Stair instance, and I think you can come in here at level 56. I think that's the minimum required level to get in here. Now, when you come in here for the first time, and I don't know when the challenges reset, but there's like challenges for these Moria instances. I don't know if that's the same with all instances in the game. Again, now I'm just super rusty on the instances and how they all work here. Again, though, I think it's specifically the Moria ones for sure. There may be other ones that have these challenges. So if you notice, though, I'm not doing the challenge, and it actually appears as like a quest as soon as you enter the instance, and it'll say like I think for this one it says do not defeat a bunch of and there's a bunch of the bosses in here that you're not supposed to beat for the challenge. You're supposed to take a specific path to the final boss and then beat the final boss. So obviously I'm not doing that. This was more of a just to show you guys all the different bosses. I'm pretty sure my champion dies here. I think this guy does a reflect damage, and I just destroy myself here because I didn't notice it. Boom. Just like that, dead. Luckily here, I think I got my Beorning out in time, and I'm able to revive. Yeah, there we go. You can see her off in the distance. I'm actually super bothered that you can't see my POV from the Beorning. But that's okay. So speaking of which, so the Beorning is kind of interesting here. I think I went with the yellow tree, I think, on the Beorning. And it's got some really good heals, like surprisingly good heals. I don't know if they're, I'm no expert. You'd think that at level 57 I would know what I was doing on the Beorning, but that's not the case. I've actually mostly been in the red tree, single, it's like, I guess, single target. Well, for the most part, it's single target DPS. And I really like that tree. It's really good for soloing. But the yellow tree is really good as well. I really enjoy that tree so far. There we go. The buff is gone, I think, off of this guy now. So hopefully I can rip him up pretty good. But yeah, so the Beorning does a pretty good job of healing my champion. I don't know how they do for like healing normally in groups. I don't know if they can do better than a minstrel or not. I haven't tried it out. I don't know that I really will or not. I guess who knows? You never know. And maybe I'll make a video later on whether or not that is a thing. I'm sure there's plenty of good information out there by now, though. I actually don't know when the Beorning came out. I think I asked in chat a couple of days ago, and they said something like 99 months ago. So I mean, we're getting close to a year, if that's true. So again, I'm sure there's got to be a lot of good information out there on him now. But anyways, it's a fun class so far. I really like it. I really like that red tree, although to be honest, I really like this yellow tree as well. I did try the blue tree for a while, but I was soloing, and I feel like that's kind of like, or my impression was that was like the tank tree. And so I don't know, I wasn't getting much out of it, and I wasn't really real wild about it. So that's that, I guess. But so far so good on the Beorning. I actually really like this class. I like the legendaries. They've got some pretty interesting legendary legacies. So if you're not familiar with the game, the legendary system is actually extremely cool in this. I feel like to really appreciate it, though, you almost had to have been playing the entire time. So when the original legendaries came out, So what would happen was every let's see, your basic legendary has like your basic legendary weapons got like I think it's 60 levels. So you actually level up your weapons, or at least one of them. It's usually your main hand or whatever your main weapon will be. And the cool thing about them is, they level up, and then so basically, actually, when you first get it, you identify it first, and when you identify it, the legendary item will have three. They call them legacies on there. So one will be like, oh boy, for the Beorning, it's like bear form damage, so 1% bear form damage, and then when you level that up, or the next rank will be 2% bear form damage. So that's a very, very powerful legacy, obviously. Your bear form attacks are already extremely powerful, and then to just give you flat percentages, that's pretty awesome stuff. So there's that. There's obviously, so there's a bunch of other legacies as well. And so the cool thing, though, is so at level 10, your legendary item will get one more legacy. So like, you'll have your three, whatever three it starts out as. And then, so I think there's like a pool of, I'm going to take a stab and say 10 major legacies and like 10 minor legacies. And so I think when you identify, it'll always have three majors on it right away. And so by major, those are typically better than the minors, I would say, and that kind of seems like that makes sense. But certain majors, depending on what spec you're going into, aren't going to be all that useful for you. So you may find that minors are more useful in some cases. So, getting a minor isn't always a bad thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Or not all minors are, quote unquote useless, and not all majors are useful. So anyway, so like I said, so level 10 you get another legacy. I think level 20 and 30 you get additional legacies as well. And then at level 40, 50, and 60, you actually get to level up one of the legacies that is already on there. So what I mean by that is when you first get your legacies, they are anywhere from tier 1 to tier 6, I believe. And what that actually affects is, boy, this is actually super complicated. If you really want a good explanation of all this information, check out a guide. There's a lot of info to learn. Once you get it down, though, it's pretty easy. It's not like it's super complicated by any means. But anyways, the tiers on the legacy. So a tier 1 is as bad as you can get, and what that means is, so like bear form damage, for instance, when you're trying to rank it up from rank 1 to rank 2, it costs a certain amount of points. At tier 1, it costs a ton of points, whereas at tier 6, it costs significantly less points. So you want your legacies to be tier 6, essentially. And that'll it just means that you're not wasting as many points than when you put or when you rank up those legacies. And that's the final thing. At level 60, so every level actually you get a certain amount of points to put into your legacies. And so obviously at level 60, on a third age, that's as high as you can get a third age. Without some sort of enhancement, which I don't know if there is. I don't know if there's a way to get, level 60, or sorry. I don't know if there's a way to get level 70 third ages. There might be. Again, there's probably like a scroll out there or something that allows you to get that. But anyways, so however many points or how many ranks that you can put into something are determined by not only your level, which determines the amount of maximum points, but also the tier of each legacy, which essentially makes them cheaper to level up as. So again, overall, a very complicated, progression or aspect to the game. I feel like, though, once you get it down, it's super easy. There's some ins and outs to it that are important to know, specifically how to take legacies off of an item and put them on new ones. So that's another cool thing. And that brings me back to what I was talking about earlier. When the legendary system first came out, there was essentially no way to customize your items. and you could frankly get completely boned on your items. So like, we'll just say for my champion, and I know this actually happened, was that I ended up getting a first stage back in the day, and it was like a, you know, whatever, a level 60 or a level 65 or something like that, whatever the level cap at the time was. And I ended up getting, I think it was, or I traded in for a mace, and because that was back when, I think, when maces were still good. Maces had stun, or the ability to stun on them. They don't anymore, unfortunately. But anyway, so I bought a mace, or ended up getting a mace, and I think you wanted like fervor damage on one of your legacies. And again, now that may have changed now. Fervor damage might not even be a legacy anymore, and I feel like it's not. I actually don't think I think that's an outdated legacy. So they've made a ton of changes to the game, and I think that was one of them. All right, so here I've got the Beorning outside the gate, and this is actually kind of dangerous. So like, if the boss gets aggro on the Beorning outside, the boss will actually reset, which is actually not the worst thing ever, though, because if you notice here, I've got Beasts of the Grand Stair. That was the reason why I was even here in the first place. And I wanted to get that deed completed. So what I did here was I pulled the boss outside on purpose. So if you notice there, so there's a couple of different stages of the fight. First stage, the boss is riding the warg, and then the next, he jumps off the warg, and then you can kill the warg, and then the final part is at certain hit point percentages, the wargs that are sleeping back there wake up, and then you can kill them. And so that was actually how I did this. I ground out this deed because frankly, it's kind of a pain in the butt. There aren't actually a whole lot of wargs in this instance. So what I did here was I just kept killing off his ads, and then I reset him, and then I'd walk in and re-engage. So if you're trying to complete the Beasts of the Grand Stair, and I think that was I want to say that was a discipline deed. Don't quote me on that, though, because I'm rusty. It's probably not, actually. I don't know. I feel like I guess I could look that up, but it's not that important, I guess. Anyways, it's kind of a cool trick. So anyways, like I was saying with the legendaries, you know, I got boned on my very first stage that I ever got, which was obviously super disappointing. I don't remember, but I feel like that actually may have been one of the reasons why I quit the second time. So I came back, you know, I played for a while and quit way back in the day, and then I came back years and years later and played a second time, and then I got that. I raided super hardcore for a while and ended up getting just this shitty legendary that I was super unhappy with, and so you know, that was like I said, I'm pretty sure that was one of the reasons why I quit again. And so then I came back, and they had revamped the system a bit. There we go. Beast of the Grand Stair advanced, nice. Maybe I'll click on that and we can see what the reward actually is. But so yeah. So anyways, you know, I came back, and then at that point they had changed the legendaries and made it so that you could customize your legendary, and that was awesome. That was so good. They did a really good job of, and I always feel like that was the case with this game. Was I guess in most cases anyway, that you know, when they made something that they realized that was kind of crummy, either by feedback of the players or, you know, maybe just recognition themselves, they would fix those issues. So yeah, so they did a pretty good job there. Oh, I thought I was gonna go in and check, but I guess I didn't. Womp womp. That's too bad. So yeah. So anyways, that was kind of nice. So. Anyway, so what's good about Lord of the Rings these days compared to others? Honestly, the community is really good. I feel like yeah, every game, I swear, has got, you know, its trolls these days, and you know, I guess it's just the internet. It's just the way the internet is. People are dicks. People are just dicks most of the time. I shouldn't say that. Maybe not most of the time. There's just there's certain people that are just out to piss people off. So there's that, and every game's got them, but I feel like Lord of the Rings is pretty good as far as community goes. So you know, good player base, and I feel like the game itself is kind of geared that way. So Lord of the Rings was never, in my opinion, that great for PvP. I felt like PvP was an afterthought to this game. So the game was basically always meant to be as this PvE, whatever, however you want to say it, maybe just a PvE-based game. And, eventually they did add a PvP aspect to it. I always thought it was garbage. I think some people kind of like it. And actually, I've got a couple of friends that actually enjoyed it. So there's probably something to that. But I'll be frank, completely honest here. I didn't ever PvP a whole lot in this game, and I always felt like, and maybe that was because of the classes I picked. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I didn't do a whole lot of that. So that I can't really speak too much about it, other than my experience with it was not that great, I guess I'd say. So there's that. But what makes this good versus other games? I guess, number one, it's free to play to a certain extent. You can only do so much as a free-to-play player, and I say that, but frankly, there is a way, if you really wanted to grind out turbine points to buy things like, more quest packs or entire regions, I guess. So what I mean by that is just by like doing deeds and stuff, you get turbine points. So like kill X amount of wolves in the basic region, and it gets you 5 points. And then essentially you do the same thing but twice as many, and it'll get you double the points. And technically you can do that. You can grind out turbine points and then buy expansions for the game that way. So if you're super cheap or something, I guess you could do that. I mean, I can't really recommend doing that. It would take an extremely long time to really accomplish anything doing that. I guess if you're, again, like super crazy cheap or something, you could do that. But my opinion, it's not really worth it. So that being said, though, so you can actually be a subscriber, and you get a lot of benefits out of subscribing in this game. A lot. I'm now that I've played for a while again, and I'm kind of enjoying the game, I'm considering subbing again. I did actually buy a few turbine points recently, though, just to kind of keep going. I kind of got to a point where I couldn't keep progressing my character without kind of putting some money into it. So I figured I'd do that because, to be honest, this is a great game. Turbine's a good company, and I feel like in most games where I don't trust a company, or I haven't played for very long, or when I'm first starting out a game, I don't like to put money into stuff just because I don't know if I'm going to keep going with it. So and I certainly, when I notice a bad business model, I'll take Black Desert Online, for instance. And sorry if there's any mega fans of that game. Actually, the majority of the friends I've played games with over the years love BDO, and I don't like it. So I guess just a little, maybe I'm just weird. I guess I'm weird. I'm the 1% here in this case. But yeah, so I didn't like their business model. I felt like that game was super pay to win, and I just don't like that. I understand games and game companies need to make money. It's just the way that a game does it is what will determine whether or not I will support them or not. And in Black Desert Online, I couldn't. So that was I didn't like the way they did it. So I didn't, and I only played for a week, and then I didn't look back. So why is this one good? So I don't feel like this game is pay to win at all. I feel like the majority of everything in the store is strictly convenience. There may be, and again, I'm super rusty now, and there's so much stuff in the store that it's impossible for me to make a real good or formulate a good opinion on it, just because again, I'm super rusty on everything that's in there. But to me, it feels like the majority of stuff in the store is purely convenience. So it seems to me like there's always another way to get what's in the store. Again, though, that's probably not the case with everything, but it does not feel pay to win. And to be honest, this game is a lot of fun and really enjoyable and not that difficult. So I don't even feel like it would be tough for me to say that there's anything in there that's going to make a huge difference one way or the other. I'm sure there is some stuff in the store these days that feels a little pay to win, but generally I feel like it's pretty good. So Anyways, that's my that's my take on Lord of the Rings these days, and it's in comparison, I guess, with other games. And I'm having fun. I'm gonna keep going. I'll, not frankly, I'm gonna keep going until it's not fun anymore. So we'll see how long I can keep it up. But so far, so good. As always, though, I hope this guide was kind of quasi guide was helpful. To be honest, it really was more of an opinion piece on the current state of Lord of the Rings. So, anyways, leave me some feedback if you want to. If you play, let me know what you think of it these days and how it kind of stacks up with the other games out there. And we'll see you around. Thanks for watching.